Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to McKola TV. This is the preview for the final league game of the season. It all comes down to this: Leicester against Manchester United. We will find out who is going to be finishing in the top four. There are three teams fighting for two spots: Manchester United and Leicester. Two of those, and they go head to head at the King Power Stadium. Then, of course, you've got Chelsea, who take on Wolves, and they're looking to hold on to that fourth spot going into the final weekend of the season. Man United know a draw will mean we are into the Champions League for next season. There's 9 different possibilities that can come out of this weekend results, and 7 of those see United go through. But I am still feeling very, very nervous as we head into this game. I don't know whether it's because obviously we've had a loss of momentum, a serious loss of momentum. You look at the 2 draws against West Ham and Southampton. You look at the result and the performance against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Those performances and those results have seen us take that little bit of a dip as we approach this final game. About 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, you would have thought United would turn up there and batter Leicester City, especially when you look at the injuries that they have. If you see the latest news to the side there, Maddison, Soyuncu, Pereira, Chilwell, Fuchs and Amartey out for them. They are massive injuries. That is practically most of their first choice back four, bar Evans. Then you've got obviously Fuchs, who can play in there as well. Maddison, who's one of their creative outlets and one of their creative sparks. And Amartey, who's someone that can come in there as well for them, who's a good squad player. So you're looking at that and you're thinking, you know, Leicester City, in the form they're in, they got battered by Jose's Spurs last time out, 3-0. They'll be coming into this not feeling too confident. But you look at their team, and even with those injuries, the likes of Tielemans and Didi, you know, Jamie Vardy, Damari Gray, they've got players out there that can cause you problems. They really have. I think Harvey Barnes is another player for them as well, who will be looking to cause United problems. And whilst their defensive unit isn't as strong, going forward, they still have that possibility of getting goals. And they have the goal scoring leader in the Premier League, Jamie Vardy, up front for them, who I'm sure is rubbing his hands together and licking his lips at the prospect of coming up against an out-of-form Manchester United team and a Manchester United defence this weekend. So we have to be very, very wary of what Leicester City offer United going forward. Although both teams know if Wolves, which I wouldn't put it beyond them, go to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea, a draw will be good enough for both of these teams. You know they're not going to approach it. Leicester City are going to approach this as a must-win. They're going to approach this as a must-win because most of the scenarios, you know, if United draw, Chelsea draw, Leicester City aren't getting top 4. If United draw, Chelsea win, Leicester City aren't getting top 4. The only way they can get top 4 without winning is if Chelsea lose. So they know they need to go into this game looking to win and not rely on other clubs. United have to do the same. We cannot rely on Wolves doing us a favour at Chelsea. We need to go out there and look to get a victory. Now, if that results in us, you know, getting a draw, all well and good, because we're still through. That may see us drop to 4th, depending on the Chelsea result, but we'd still be through in the top 4 into the Champions League. So, big opportunity for Manchester United. And look, when the restart came around, Project Restart and all that, I don't think any of us expected us to be sitting 3rd in the final weekend of the season. You know, we were relying on us going on an incredible run. We were relying on, Leicester and Chelsea dropping points. Now, both those things have happened. Now, 2 draws have come at the back end of those, of that run, which makes you feel a little bit more, down about things. But it's been an incredible run to get ourselves in this position. I think you're seeing fatigue come into play now. Mental fatigue as well, physical fatigue. We've got no squad really. Well, not enough quality, you'd think. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't seem to trust some of those players that are in the squad. The likes of Jesse Lingard, Andreas Pereira, Juan Mata, Daniel James, even Odion Igalo, you could say. He doesn't seem to trust them in the league games. We're not making many or any changes going into games, as we saw that same team starting for a complete run. Now that probably had a detrimental effect to the teams, and the likes of Paul Pogba, who'd just come back from injury, Marcus Rashford, who's the same, Nemanja Matic, who isn't getting any younger. That probably had a detrimental effect on them. But I think Ollie's kind of pointing out as well that beyond my first 11, I haven't got enough there. I need more. And I think that's a little bit of a message to the board as well. But that could become a negating factor for United when it comes to this game, because we're going to be tired. Leicester City have had a full week's rest heading into this game. United had a midweek game as well. So, you know, it's in Leicester City's hands in terms of going there and getting a result for them. I'd say they probably come into it as slight favourites. But you think with United's form, United's players that we do have available, if they perform, we should be getting a result here. We should be getting a win. So I'm looking forward to this one. I really am. But I am nervous. I'm shitting myself a little bit. And I promised myself I'd never do this over top 4. We used to be out there singing Channel 5 Thursday nights and all that, and talking about, we would be scrapping for 4th and celebrating 4th like it's a trophy now. I don't think Ollie will be allowing the players to celebrate 4th like it's a trophy, and I don't think the fans will be doing that either. But we need this. We need Champions League football. It's very important for us in terms of our short-term goals, the next summer transfer window, and obviously next season as well. But also our long-term goals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's going to want to get a win here and get Champions League football, because it means his job's more safe. You know, his feet will feel a little bit firmer in the job, and you'd like to think we get the result and we're going to have a good summer. We go into the Europa League. It's a little bit easier as well. We can rest players ahead of September the 12th or the 19th, whenever that start's going to be. So getting Champions League football is vitally, vitally important for Manchester United, and we have to do it. David says if they are hungry for top 4, then it is just 90 minutes. Bailey says if Man United don't get top 4, Ollie will be criticised. But if Chelsea don't, they will build a statue for Lampard. I think we know what the situation is with Lampard. He's obviously an English media darling. He plays for Chelsea, who aren't twice as big a club as United. United's twice the club of Chelsea, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. We're always going to create more headlines and attract more headlines and attract more pressure. It's just the way it goes, to be honest. We have to be accepting of it. We got a fake Jack Grealish account in the comments, which is great. Hopefully Jack Grealish will be signing for United. And this will be the last league game that we'll have without Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho. That's a good thought, isn't it? We need Champions League football, though. It's fine if Pogba doesn't show up. As always in my DM, says Jack Grealish. Rashford looked tired against Chelsea. He had no energy in the performance against West Ham, says Logan. Yeah, his brother, or the agency account that runs the account of the agency that is involved with Rashford, tweeted something along the same lines about him, coming back from an injury which was career threatening, playing so much football in so little time without a real pre-season. It's going to catch up on the players. Paul Pogba played 6 games this season before the restart for United. He had a massive injury, came back in, didn't have much of a pre-season, has been playing week in, week out. You've got to expect some fatigue from some of these players. Nemanja Matic hadn't played a lot at all for United, and then he's come in and he's played loads in a short space of time, so that's going to take it's an impact on him. The last time United played Leicester, it was Marcus Rashford who got the goal for United, an early penalty, and we held on to a 1-0 win, and that would do for us, wouldn't it? That would do for us this weekend. So we'll have a look at some of the news surrounding United. We'll also have my predicted 11s and those kind of things coming up as well. At 7 PM tonight, UK time, we have a bonus video for the members on the channel. It's a live stream. The link has already been posted in the community section for members. So if you still want to get involved with that live stream, then head over and join Adam McKola TV, and you can get on that for 7 o'clock tonight. It will be about a 20-30 minute live for the members, where we'll have a little Q&A and we'll have a little chat. Obviously you still get your daily content on here if you're not a member, but that's just bonuses for those guys that are helping support the channel here on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you're keeping it involved, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and joining if you can. Get involved with that later as well. Any members that are watching this and aren't aware, 7 PM UK time will be live for a members only stream. That's in 50 minutes time, so about half an hour after we're finished here. Obviously if you're watching this back later, then just ignore what I'm saying. And we'll also have another members only video up as well, which is going to be a behind the scenes vlog of one of my days at Paddock, which will be up on Monday or Tuesday. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Ted Mengi against Lask, someone says, yeah, I'd be happy with us being able to go into the Europa League, and not just that last game, potentially the Istanbul or Copenhagen game, any games after that. If you can go into that competition and you're able to rest some of your key players, you know, maybe you can rotate where they rest. So 1 week you could rest Martial, the next week you could rest Igalo, 1 week you could rest Bruno, the next week you could rest, Martial, Rashford, rest them. Igalo don't really need a rest. Pogba, Bruno, Matic, you could rest them. You could all give them time off. Allow some of them to be part of the match day squads. Allow others to go away, get fresh, maybe get a holiday under the belt or whatever before the restart of the Premier League season, because we need our players to be fresh for that. And if we've already got Champions League football, then I don't think there's any need to absolutely batter the squad for a month in August. With the season started in September, you may as well allow some of them to go away and get a break in there, because we're going to need them fresh and ready to go in September for the Premier League. Akash says Champions League qualification equals Sancho. I think we could get him without it, but I think Sancho will be coming to Man United if we've got Champions League qualification for sure. Treat Europa as pre-season. That's a possibility if we get Champions League football before then. Wolves and Chelsea will be a draw, and Man United is in the top 4, says Sumbo. Do you think we will be in a similar situation next season where we just scrape top 4, or will it be much more comfortable, says Bailey? I think it has to be much more comfortable. Otherwise, Ollie's job will be, you know, at risk next season if we're in this kind of position going into the final day. Because you look at it and you think, he's made 5-6 signings, big signings. He's going to be looking to make more signings in the summer. If he's given the money to invest in a squad after getting Champions League football, and we've got a more competitive squad after just finishing potentially 3rd or 4th, we should be then looking to be finishing 2nd or 3rd and pushing on and trying to close that gap as much as possible on Liverpool or City. If we're then having the same issues next season where we're struggling to qualify for Champions League and we've got this much improved squad and all that, and that's when your manager's going to start coming under question. I think the job that Ollie's done so far has been fantastic. Bringing in the players that he's brought in, refreshing the squad, bringing in some of the younger players, all that kind of stuff. Some of the results have been great. Yes, some of it's been shit as well. But in the main, when he's had the team there, he has got us results. You look at his start when he first came in and Ollie was at the wheel. Obviously, we had a dip after that. But this season, when we've had the players available and we've had the team, we've got the results. There's been some worries. You think around December, January time, we were fearing for Ollie's job and fearing whether he'd still be here much longer. But he well and truly got back hold of the reins and he's sorted it out. And the team and the squad look a lot better. So really enjoying what we're seeing from Ollie so far. But we need to keep it up because this last week hasn't been great at all. Loads of talk about Jackie Grealish in the comments. John Tracy, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Faster interplay is key. We were way too slow against West Ham and Chelsea, says 3, which will usually hint at tiredness and fatigue in the squad, won't it? If the players are slower, they're not looking as quick as they were a few weeks ago, then you're looking at probably fatigue in the squad. Will Ollie be sacked if we don't get top 4, says Logan? I don't think so, no. I think you have to look at the progression that we've had over the course of the season, and I think there has been progression there, so I don't think he will be. David has become a member of Adam McKola TV, so thank you very much to David for joining the channel. Make sure you're clicking that join button if you can and getting involved. Remember, we've got a members only live stream at 7 o'clock tonight, so join us for that. First goal will be massive tomorrow as it could allow us to sit back and counter, says Bailey. It could indeed. Leicester City are going to have to attack us. They're the ones that need to win this game. So they're going to have to attack us. Akshay says huge game tomorrow, and I think there's no doubt that it is a huge game. Finley, there is definitely audio. I can test it for you right now. I can hear my voice right there, so there's definitely audio. It is just you. What a question. Boxers have to do that. I'm not sure about footballers. Ollie's at the wheel. Board have to back him though, says Ross. They do indeed. How many goals does United have to be winning by for you to be relaxed, says Sam? I think if we're winning 1-0 tomorrow, I'll be feeling a little bit better, depending on what the result is at Chelsea. But obviously, anything can happen at 1-0. So 2-0, and we'll really start to get comfortable. Because a draw is enough for us at the end of the day. A draw is enough. But that's not to say I want us to go in looking for a draw. We need to be going in, attacking it, and getting 3 points. Simple as that. Especially when you look at Leicester. Let's have a look at Leicester's form recently. That team news for them again, incredible stuff. The amount of players they've got out. One sec. Leicester. Oh, I'm on Saturday's fixtures. No wonder I can't find it. Right, Sunday. Leicester Man United. So Leicester, as we said, they're without Amartey, Chilwell, Fuchs, Maddison, Pereira and Soyuncu. Massive misses for them. Albrighton is a doubt for them. For Manchester United, Phil Jones and Twanzebe are out. They're the ones that are definitely out. Eric Bailly and Luke Shaw could return. They are questionable, but Ollie said he will give them as much time as possible. And we all saw that picture of Eric Bailly doing overhead kicks and all sorts in training this week. And a little bit of foot tennis, he's doing overhead kicks. So it looks like Eric Bailly is ready and back available, unless he hasn't injured himself at the moment. Their run of form, isn't great since lockdown. So before lockdown, they beat Aston Villa 4-0 and Birmingham 1-0 in the cup. Since lockdown, drew with Watford 1-1, drew with Brighton 0-0, lost against Chelsea 1-0, lost against Everton 2-1, beat Palace 3-0, drew with Arsenal 1-1, lost against Bournemouth 4-1, beat Sheffield United 2-0 and lost against Tottenham 3-0. So their form has not been great. United's form on the road, we've won 4 out of our last 5. We've won 6 out of our last 7. 6 out of our last 9. 7 out of our last 10 on the road. So our form on the road is very, very good. But you see, when our form on the road's good, and it shits me up. When you hear these kind of records, United unbeaten in 10 on the road. United have a good record against Leicester. Leicester very rarely beat us and all this, that and the other. Let's check the head-to-head. Leicester haven't won against Manchester United in the league since that game against Louis van Gaal in 2014. Since then, we've played them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. And we've won all but 3 of those. That doesn't fill me with confidence. Even though we've won 8, drawn 3 of our last 11, it just means that the run's got to run out at some point, and it shits me up. But nevertheless, let's move on. We need a Marshall FC masterclass, says Sean. Let's move on and get the teams up. My predicted 11 for this game is as follows. David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Eric Bailly, Luke Shaw, Matic, Pogba, Greenwood, Bruno, Rashford, Marshall. That is the team that I am going with. Our strongest 11, the team that we saw start most games. Hopefully Luke Shaw is available. Bailly's looking available to me. The only other alternative to Shaw, I think, would be Timothy Fosu-Mensah. I don't think that Brandon's looked good in the last week, so I'd take him out of the firing line. I'd go with Eric Bailly. Now look, I think Maguire and Lindelof both deserve dropping. They both deserve dropping. But Harry Maguire started every league game for United this season. He's not going to be dropped in this one. He's the captain. So for some reason he can get away with bad performances, yeah? I think we will see a change, and I think we'll see Eric Bailly coming. That defence has been too shaky this week. And people can point to our solid record or say our record's this, that and the other. But guys, we've all seen it with our own eyes. We've all seen it. I thought Bailly was the best player in our defence out of a bad bunch against Chelsea before he went off injured. And I think Eric Bailly is our best defender. He's better than Maguire. He's better than Lindelof. He's better than all of them. He's our best defender. So we need to be playing him. Simple as that. Simple as that. Some of you like saying Lindelof's better than Bailly. Some of you are agreeing with me. So there obviously is split opinion in there. But yeah, man, I'm going for Eric Bailly. I like Eric Bailly. I think he's our best defender, and he's not injured, so play him. play your best defender. Yes, he might be erratic, but Lindelof and Maguire have been shit. So I'd go with Eric Bailly. Logan agrees as well. Matic in that midfield with Pogba. Matic looked tired, so I could possibly see McTominay coming in, but I think Ollie will go with Matic. Greenwood, Bruno, Rashford, Martial in my front four. That is the team that I'm going with. Fan says, sell Lindelof in the transfer window. Not in my opinion. I don't think you should sell him. I think there's a decent centre-half in there. I just think he's been poor recently. Then there's nothing wrong with saying someone's been poor. They maybe deserve to be dropped. Same with Harry Maguire. But I don't think he needs to be sold. I think there's a player in there somewhere. I worry with Matic, says Ross. And Bailey says, I think James might get the nod over Rashford. I'm hoping Daniel James doesn't start. In my opinion, Jesse Lingard offers more than Danny James. Yes, if there's teams, he maybe could work on the counter-attack against Leicester City, but I thought he was poor against Chelsea. He's not really been great since the lockdown return. And I wouldn't play him in my opinion, not starting this game, but each to their own. Guys, get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing, get joining if you can as well. Remember, we've got that live members only stream at 7 p.m. tonight, which is in around 38 minutes time. What do I think of the Coleman transfer? Obviously Andy Mitten yesterday reported that United were in for Coleman. Then there were reports from Germany that Coleman was staying at Bayern Munich and it was not going to happen. But I can see why Andy Mitten would possibly have that story. United are probably briefing journalists at this moment in time, and people like Andy Mitten, that United are in after other targets, so that those people then write stories about, say, Kingsley Coleman or whoever, and say, yeah, United are after this guy, United are after that guy, and try and drive the price down of Jadon Sancho. I've seen a lot of people criticising Andy Mitten for his work yesterday. I think it would have come from credible sources to him. I don't think he would have been lying at all. And I think he would have put out what he heard in good faith. And I also believe Christian Falk is also going to say what he believes in good faith. But you've got to understand, one of those is coming from Man United. One of those is coming from Bayern Munich. Now, United may be using that to try and drive the price down of Kingsley Coleman. It's just as simple as that. I don't think we're in for Kingsley Coleman. I don't think we need Kingsley Coleman. I don't think there's a player that we need. But he's a talented player, and I can see why United would use someone like that. It'd make Dortmund think, well, actually, they're giving more transfer funds to Bayern Munich. Maybe we need to step in there and make sure they don't get those funds. Let's get your score predictions for the game against Leicester City. I am going for a 2-2 draw. I think Chelsea and Wolves will draw as well. I think there'll be nervy affairs with both games. And I think United will end up possibly squeaking through in the Champions League. But I am truly sitting on the fence for this one. I'm not going to get off it either. I'm sitting on the fence. JC wants Adama Traore. Not for me. Not for me. Jacob thinks 2-2. Sean thinks 2-1. Bailey thinks 0-0. Ross thinks 2-1. Shree thinks 3-3. Chris thinks 6-2. Bloody hell. Mikey thinks 2-1. Akash says we might counter and sit back. Makes me nervous. Prediction 2-1 United. Ahmed says 1-1 draw and Chelsea to lose to Wolves. United Way says 1-1. Sidesh says 1-1. 3-1 United says MS. Army. I agree. Both will be a draw. Says Alan. Tim Walsh says 2-1 United just. Bud the Red thinks 3-2 United. Few goals. Max says Zombor Kirai with a 1-1. 3-2 says Adam Wilmot up the fucking Reds. Logan thinks 3-2. 2-1 and 2-1 for United and Wolves thinks Ross. And we presume Dean is thinking 6-3 says Sean. I am going for a 2-2 draw in this one. If I didn't read out your comments, then I do apologise. But make sure you're keeping it locked. You're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I'm going for a Man United draw tomorrow and us to seal that Champions League. Remember, you can catch us over on Stretford Paddock where we'll have the live watch along. We will have fan cams. We will have all that good stuff coming your way on that channel. I'll also be in the studio as well. So we'll get a review done for Adam McKola TV. And if I've got time pre-match, maybe I'll jump on a little live as well, like we did last week when I forgot to do the preview, because we can always get the opinions of Jay and Joe and everyone that's around as well. So we might try something like that. But that's not a promise. What you will definitely get is reaction to hopefully Manchester United beating Leicester City and going through third place in the Premier League and getting that Champions League spot. We'll be back. Make sure you're keeping it locked. 7 o'clock for the members only stream. Make sure you're joining us for them. But for now, I have been Adam McKola. You lot have been legends. Hit that like button on your way out. See you later.